G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good and excellent in your part of the world. In for a quick look today, we have a mighty combination of form and function. This is the ORIS Small Seconds Diver, silly reference number 017437609845407824001 PEB. These were released a few years back and now discontinued. This particular one is from the 2010s, has been lent into the channel by my brother, who has introduced me to some very interesting watches over the years, and thankfully one of those was my perennial nocturnal diurnal favourite, the Citizen Pingo here. So as you can see in my hands, this Oris is it's a big lump of steel, and it is going to be too big for a lot of wrists, including my own. Let's just pause and zoom in a fraction. So yes, this is the true definition of a proper dive watch, in the sense that it is over-engineered, oversized, over-specced, over everything. I believe that there was also a blue dial version in this series, which didn't feature the orange tint on the dial, on the hands and markers. And then there was also a titanium version, I think, which had the sub dial slightly lower. I can really see the appeal of titanium because it would be a lot lighter than the particular version that we've got, the steel version that we've got in here for today. Key speckage then, as always, it's 44 mils across, but that's at the top because the bottom flares out and then spreads a further 3 mils out to 47 mils across the base. So again, as you can see there, it's quite a squat case that fades down like that. It's about 15-16 mils deep, depending on whether you're getting right at the center point there. The lugs here are only 10 mils, but that's a fairly redundant measurement because, as you can see, it's just the end male link there, that is that, and it sits between these two monstrous buttress lugs here, which are actually then 24 mils across. I don't recall having seen some lugs as heavy duty as that in quite a long time. Zoom in a little bit more so you can see this. Now, my perception is that the case body and the lugs are formed of one unique piece of steel, because the joints there are I can't see them. But I found descriptions of this watch suggesting that it is a multi-piece steel. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've just closed them off, sealed them off very well indeed. But as I say, my perception, they're single piece. But again, if I'm incorrect in that, please do correct me. As you can see from the dial, it comes with a whopping 1,000 meters worth of watery goodness. So peace of mind for the most demanding. On this sized bracelet, so it's sized for my brother's wrist, it's about 7.5 to 7.75 inch. It's got some heft. It comes in at 245 grams. Yes, nearly 250 grams of heavy steel, and a lot of that is in that watch head. You get two crowns over on the side here. The top one then is actually your helium escape valve, so nice to see a little bit of an alternative instead of the usual recessed valves that we see on the side there. And the lower one then is connected up to the action there. This is an old watch, probably hasn't been serviced in a while, but again, action and everything very smooth here. Re-engage, and if we can just find a quick set date as well, still all working perfectly. It's connected up to their in-house movement, the 743, which will feature their iconic red rotor, I believe. It's also heavily based on the Sellita SW220, and I've read some commentary saying that the only change is the custom rotor. Others suggest that it was in-house regulated, etc. But as this is a little bit older, the detail isn't as clear. So again, if you know otherwise, please do drop us a comment down below, because I know it'd be great to learn a little bit more. Onto the dial. He says, I'm going to move the hour hand over the dial there, over the sub-seconds. Kind of like the sub-seconds placed there at the sort of the 9 to 11. Just adds a little bit of variety. And again, if we zoom in a fraction more, again, you got those concentric circles around there. Again, I just think it looks pretty nice. I do like the split of the counting seconds there with so essentially you've got the two full ends, so you can use both ends if you like for counting or timing yourself. Nice little detail there. You can see that the embossed wave pattern on this black dial version is quite subtle. You do need to get up quite close to see it. If you want to see it a little bit more, then I'll pop up the picture of the blue one again, because again it comes across much stronger on that blue dialer. Legibility, again, you don't need me to tell you this, is fantastic. The sort of toothy oranged hour markers stand out very clearly, and I think the hands mimic them quite well as well. Again, potential aging there with a slightly different tone of the orange. It's got 120 click bezel, and it sounds like this. So still, for a 20-year-old watch, still sounding very, 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 very positive indeed. Yeah, there's a tinsy little bit of backplay in there, but again, because this is almost a vintage watch, I'm going to forgive it that. As you can see, it's been well used. The case back is a huge, bulbous affair. And yeah, obviously, as you can see, I mean, just built for robustness and hardcore proper diving. Yes, very, very, very well constructed case back there, and it's matched with this rather splendidly chunky bracelet. I think as well, you really need something thick and weighty in order to balance the head of the watch here whilst it's on wrist, so they haven't failed in that sense. You don't get a huge number of micro adjusts here, and you don't get the safety clasp over the top, which is a personal preference of mine. But you do get the dive extension in there to chuck it over the top of your suit should you need to. The watch, as I mentioned a couple of times, is a few years old, but the lume still pops pretty well. You get the nice little double markers at the 12, which personally I like a lot. And as you can see, it's just fading just a little bit, but again, kind of what you would expect for an aging watch. I've never really been a huge ORIS fan. I've always found them to be a little bit spendy, as you seem to be paying quite a bit for the brand heritage. Example of what I'm talking about: a while back I compared the ORIS 65 and the Christopher Ward 65, and well, you can see for yourself here, I think that the Christopher Ward was the hands up and hands down winner. This dive beast, though, I think is a very different offering. It's clearly not for everyone, but if you're seeking a dive monster, it's a splendid beastie that packs a huge amount of wrist presence. He says, let me throw it on wrist when I've done that. Wrist presence, Thule specs, and it's probably going to be nigh on indestructible as well. As I say, my wrist is about 7 1/4, so yeah, I'm guessing you got a finger in there. My brother's is probably around 7 1/2 inch. Zoom out a fraction. And as you can see, it sits very, very proudly. It's too big for me. I recognise that. Perhaps if it was cinched down a little bit on the bracelet, it might wear a little bit better. You know, I'd be kind of happy to borrow this for a while and resize that bracelet. Anyway, over to you guys. Do you think ORIS should start making dive watches like this again instead of the retro pieces that they are making, or are you happy with those ones? And as a small seconds diver, could it be a second-hand purchase? Again, let us know what your thoughts are on this one, please, guys. Looking forward to catching those comments down below. Thanks as always for your time and for your view. Catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.